to our lecture on the course Guide 1104, Introduction to Concepts and Theories of Gender and Development. We have moved quite a while looking at gender concepts, and we have traveled through a number of gender concepts. So now we wanted to go to theories that exist and those that explain differences in behavior amongst women and men. And this session is called Theoretical Explanations of Gender Difference. If you go on the Google Classroom, you will be able to locate it. If you go on your course outline, you will be able to locate it. So in this particular session, we are basically introducing ourselves to different theories that explain differences in behavior and interactions amongst women and men. And we follow on a number of theories. We have social biology as a theoretical strand that we'll be looking at. We have sex role socialization theory, which is another strand that we will need to look at. We have functionalism as a theory, and then we have, after that, we will look at a feminist critique of these theories that we would have seen up. And within the feminist critique, we will look at individual feminists that provide a nuanced and an alternative understanding of the relations between men and women. Quite often their explanations differ from these other theories that we will start with. So basically that is what we are looking at, aiming at introducing the theories to you to enable you understand why things happen the way they do, why men and women behave differently, why certain forms of gender inequalities crop up, to provide that foundational knowledge and understanding on how you can deal with the gender inequalities that we meet in our communities. We note that there are very many sociological observations that women and men behave differently, and also in everyday life you have observed that. There are differences in terms of how we behave, but also different expectations that are held for men and for women. We can note that women occupy different social positions, different platforms, they perform different roles, they have different entitlements in society, and so we want to see what exactly could explain this. And you will find that these explanations are embedded into science, into biology. People try to look at biological composition of men and women, their genes, their physicality of the body and etc., and how that predisposes them to doing certain things or not doing certain things. Other explanations that we encounter in everyday life also spring from religion. For instance, we have had quite a number of explanations how creation stories amongst the Christians, how God created man and woman on different, in different accounts. These accounts show sometimes who was created first and who was created second, and sometimes people draw on these to explain why men are different from women. So there are also those religious explanations, and many scholars have regarded, for instance, that Christianity stories around creation as sort of one of the reasons as to why the position of women and men in contemporary society are different. For instance, we are told that woman was created after man, that man was created first, and sometimes there is an attempt to see how the secondary status of women that is dominant in most societies is associated to that creation story. And the key statuses that people tend to derive from such kind of sociological, religious argument is that women produce children, that they are subjected to pains of child delivery, that women are mothers and nurturers and wives, that women do the domestic care work, cleaning up and looking after the home, that they take care of men, and that women are subordinate to men or men's authority, or that they are largely excluded from the high status occupations because of that difference that emerged during creation. So you tend to see people falling back to these religious teachings to try to explain the kind of differences that manifest in society. Let's look at social biology as one of those theoretical positions that enables us to understand some of the differences that manifest. I want to note that these are positions that are fronted by theorists, and they are in no way cast in stone. We're not going to take them as gospel truth. These can be contested, and indeed they have been contested within scholarship. We note that social biology, as you hear it, if you write, this is how it is written. You can see it is more or less a combination of two things, social and biology. It's a field of study that focuses on biology, but it aims at examining and explaining social behavior, and its central focus is around the terms of evolution, how humans have evolved, how species, and including animals, have evolved from time to time, and how through that evolution particular behaviors have been acquired, others dropped.